Now, as many of you will know, women are often behind the eight ball when it comes to their retirement. They live longer, which is good, but it means a longer time to fund for their retirement. And also, on average, they get paid less for the same work than men. And also, they take time out to look after the kids. Now, Olivia's been looking at some strategies for women to play a bit of catch-up with their retirement savings. Welcome, Olivia.
Thank you, John.
What sort of strategies would you give to women who are looking to do some catch-up? They want to make up for time and get on a par with men.
I think the most important thing is, if you are thinking about having kids, that you don't leave it until after having children to actually realise that your superannuation is way behind the eight ball. I think it's really important, particularly for younger women who are thinking about having children, to even start putting away that little bit extra into super earlier. So whether it's in their 20s, just putting that extra 1 or 2% away into superannuation, which will give them that ability to sort of catch up in the 3 or 4 years or even longer that they actually take, where they take that time off work.
Yeah, now thinking ahead, now that's difficult for us, isn't it?
Absolutely.
To think a bit ahead under any circumstances, but particularly one where you may want to start a family and take time out and so on. But even if people are in a lower paying job, or certainly lower paying than men doing the same work, it just means you've got to put more away, doesn't it?
It does, but there's also a lot of government incentives out there to boost your super. So if you are one of those lower income earners, there's some super incentives where you can put extra money into super and the government will actually top up your superannuation. So taking advantage of those, doing your salary sacrificing, and also particularly when you're taking that time off, you've also got spouse contributions that if you're in that right level of income and your husband or wife who's the bigger earner can potentially get tax benefits from that as well. So it's making sure that you're taking advantage of incentives whilst you're going through your career, but also planning for the time that you're going to be taking off work as well.
Okay, so just look at what incentives are available and what the rules are about getting access to those.
Absolutely. And it's those little bits, I think that's the most important thing is, when you look at your superannuation balance, most women have, around about over 40% less than men when they get to retirement. Yeah, so it's really important, I think, that, women acknowledge that there are going to be things that do set them back, particularly from a retirement point of view. Women are 2.5 times more likely to live in poverty in retirement. So, that's a staggering statistic for women to really sort of, get their heads around. So really important to make sure it's those little bits that are going to add up over time, whether it's also looking at paying off your mortgage a little bit faster, making sure that by the time you do get to retirement, you don't have that mortgage. And I think really importantly for a lot of, marriages these days, we're seeing a lot more divorce rate coming through once the kids are actually leaving school. So, divorce is, I always say, the best wealth destruction strategy. So making sure that you're planning for, not just relying on each other to live a fruitful retirement, but also making sure that you can live independently as well.
Okay, now you told me a bit earlier that some employers are actually paying their female staff more superannuation than their male employees, but you said there's potential traps there to be careful of.
Well, I think the important thing is that when you, I guess from an employer point of view, they look at a total cost of an employee. So if you've got an employer who is just adjusting your super to give you more but paying less as a base, then that's a trap, I guess, that you could potentially fall into. The most important thing is that you are getting your market wages, you're asking for pay increases just like everyone else is, wherever you're working as well, making sure that you're getting that market wage, but also you're not sacrificing on part of your wage in order to get that extra super. So really important, choose your employer well, but also look at your total package, not just, they're paying extra super. Make sure that you're getting a really good market wage base and then super on top of that as well. And keep in mind, you've always got the flexibility to salary sacrifice. Not all employers allow you to do it, but you generally will have that ability to do that. So again, look at your good market wage and then you can always salary sacrifice extra yourself if you need to.
Okay, thanks very much for that, Olivia. Some very good tips there on ways that women can make that superannuation account balance look a bit healthier and enjoy an even more comfortable retirement.